Next up in our What $500,000 series gets you, today we're looking at Glastonbury, Connecticut. So let's see if $500,000 still gets you a single family home here in Glastonbury, or if buyers are going to be settling for condos or renovation properties. All right, let's go. My name is Jason Boyce. I'm a local real estate agent here in Central and Eastern Connecticut, and I have passions for fitness, real estate, and family life with my wife Jasmine and our dog Holly. On this channel, we're going to cover everything you need to know about upsizing or downsizing in the state of Connecticut. Thank you for tuning in. All right, let's start with a market snapshot to see exactly what's going on in the Glastonbury market. So currently, median sale price is at $552,000. That's up 10.4% from last year. Number of homes currently listed for sale is 46. Median days on market right now in Glastonbury is at 6 days on market. And median price per square foot is at $246 a square foot. And on average, houses are selling for 5.7% above list price. So what does that mean for you if you're looking for a house in Glastonbury? Well, while the market in general in Connecticut is slowing down a little bit, not so much in Glastonbury. We're still seeing houses moving very quickly. Median days on market's at 6. We're still seeing houses selling for over list price, on average 5.7%. And we haven't seen the Glastonbury market slow down. So if you're looking to buy a house in Glastonbury, know that you will have to move quickly, and you are more than likely going to have to pay over list price, even if it's a fixer-upper. And this is everything that's currently active or sold in the last 90 days in Glastonbury under 525. I put a cap on it. Now, we're not really going to look at listed properties because you can list a house for whatever you want. It doesn't mean that it's actually going to close at that price. So we're going to look at closed sales. And we'll start with the cheapest one, right? Let's kind of get an idea. So this is 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet on a very tiny lot, 0.07 acres. It was built in 1992. That's surprising. It was listed at 285 and sold for 333. Now, here are pictures. Little cape. It's dated and dirty. Carpet's torn up. Structurally looks okay, but dirty and dated. Very worn carpet. So that sold for 333. Let's go up a little bit. This is on Griswold Street. This is a 2-bed, 1-bath, 1,047 square feet on 0.61 acres. This was listed at 339, sold for 373 in 4 days on market. With a 1-car underneath garage. And this is well kept. It's on the smaller side, but very well kept. So a little bit dated, but very well kept, neat, clean, and that's 1,000 feet in Glastonbury. It's near the center of town, so you're going to get a smaller lot, not much yard. 0.61 acres, but 373,000. Go up a little bit more, and see, this is on. So this is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,600 square feet, so a little bit bigger, but also a ranch on 0.6 acres. This was listed at 429, sold for 447 in 2 days on market. No garage on this one. Looks like there may have been one here originally that was turned into living space. Also very clean, freshly painted. So that sold for 447. Um, and then we'll see, this is on Thompson Street. 3 bed, 2 bath, 1,400 square feet. Now we're getting a little bit more land, 1.2 acres. This was listed at 440, sold for 485 in 6 days on market. So a little bit more land, got some sheds. And very, very well taken care of. Clean. Laminate counters. Looks like they've done some updates to the bathroom. So that sold for 485. And now let's go right to 500,000. This was a 4 bed, 2 bath, 1,900 square feet on 0.61 acres, built in 1965. This was listed at 495, sold at 500 in 11 days on market. This one does have a garage. I hate this virtual staging stuff. It's supposed to tell you if it's virtually staged or not. There it is, empty. Looks like the house is in good condition. It's clean, a little bit dated. You got some wallpaper, laminate counters. Apparently there's a microwave with the washer and dryer. Looks like there's some bathroom update. But this home's well taken care of. Again, some wallpaper, a little bit dated, but overall well cared for. So that sold for exactly 500,000. Now we'll take a quick look at something that went for over 500,000. This sold for 525. This is a 4 bed, 2.5 bath, 2,000 square feet on 1.3 acres, 1,700 square feet above grade with a finished basement of about 260 square feet. There's a ranch with a 2-car garage. These are not the best pictures, but granite counters. Bathroom updates. Again, well cared for. A little bit of a tiered sloping backyard. So that's went for 525. Here's another one at 525, just to give you an idea of if you go just over that, what you can get. 4 bed, 2.5 bath, 1,900 square feet, half an acre. This was listed at 560, but sold for 525. Interesting. After 9 days on market. Dated kitchen with tile counters. House overall is clean, well cared for. So not much of a yard, sloping lot. That could have played a role. But that went for 525. So looks like, 1,000 square feet, small ranch. You're going to be in the 350 to 400,000 range. Something a little bigger than that, maybe 12, 13, 1400 square feet in moderate condition. You're going to be in the 450, 480 range. Right around 500, you're 1,500 to 2,000 square feet. Again, probably needing some cosmetic updates, a little bit dated, but structurally okay for single family houses. Now, if you really want to get into Glastonbury, but 500,000 is a stretch for you, there is the option of condos. So let's take a look at condos in this price range and what you can get. So again, we're going to focus on only sold. So on Hollister Way, looks like stuff's going for 260, 270, 280. You got 2 bed. These are either 1.5 or 2 bath, about 1,000 square feet. A little bit older complex, built in the 70s. Now this is a 55 and over community. So if you're 55 and over, this could be an option. But in good condition on the inside, well taken care of. That's a community area. So that 260. Another one, Hollister Way, again 55 and over community. This went for 275. A little bit more dated. This one is larger though, 2 bed, 2 bath, 1080 square feet, also built in 73. So, moving up in condos, this is 11 Southgate. So this is townhouse style, 2 bed, 2.5 bath, a little bit bigger, 1344 square feet, and a little bit newer, built in 1984. This was listed at 389, sold for 390 in 6 days on market. And it's an end unit. Small kitchen, but updated. Granite counters, stainless steel appliances, tile backsplash. Looks like the place has been cleaned, freshly painted. Updated bath. So again, 2 bed, 2.5 bath, 1,300 square foot condo at 11 Southgate. That sold for 390. Now your money does go a little bit further in a condo. Here's another 3 bed, 2.5 bath, 1,600 square feet, built in 1984. Another condo. This has a garage. Now this one was listed at 360, sold for 435. A little bit dated, but spacious. Wallpaper, gonna need some updating. Central air, whole house generator, nice touches, and willow green complex. So that sold for 435. All right, so when we're looking to get into Glastonbury for around $500,000, couple things to keep in mind. You're going to have more success in the downtown area. Once you get into South Glastonbury, you're going to get larger houses. They tend to be more spread out. So that's going to be much more difficult to find something in the 500,000 range. And then the historic district along Main Street, you're going to get some older houses built in 1700s. Those generally, they're older and they're bigger, generally 700,000 and up, unless you find one that needs a ton of work. So you're going to find more of those under 500,000 options in either a condo or in the downtown part of Glastonbury. Now, some of the pros, if you get into Glastonbury, top-rated school system in the top 10 in the state, a fantastic school system that's highly desirable. You get access to the Connecticut River, the waterfront park that is along the river. Glastonbury has an Apple Fest. They have a very highly ranked and popular senior center. It's a great town with a lot of wonderful amenities. Cons, there is limited inventory and it's very fast moving. And if you want a single family home under $500,000, you're probably looking at something that's a fixer upper, which we saw with some cosmetic updates, or something that's small, like 1,000 square feet. Couple tips if you're looking to buy in Glastonbury. Because the market's moving quick, you're gonna have to hustle, get out and see houses faster. You're gonna wanna get in an offer quickly because houses are selling, median days on market is 6. And you're gonna wanna come in with a strong offer. On average, stuff is selling for 5.7% over list price. And because it's competitive and you're probably gonna be competing against multiple offers, the least amount of contingencies possible that you're comfortable with, obviously. Now, if that $500,000 range is becoming a stretch for you and you really want to get into Glastonbury, I do consider looking at condos. You can get into the condo market for under $400,000. There are not as many of them. There are going to be less, so it might take a little bit of time. Now, if what you're getting in Glastonbury is just not enough for you, but you also want a good school system, maybe not quite as good, some of the surrounding towns are good options. I will link down below to what $500,000 gets you in some of the surrounding towns like Hebron, Andover, Marlborough, Colchester, Columbia that we have covered, if that's something you want to look into and find interesting. As always, if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with anyone you know that might find this interesting and helpful in moving into Glastonbury. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it.